I'll now like to call upon Mr. Nirupam Chaudhuri, NASSCOM East Head, to present the opening remarks. Nirupam Chaudhuri heads NASSCOM Eastern Region in India. He has more than 2 decades of experience in information technology and related research market intelligence. He has extensively worked on new product ideas, business planning, management development, and major implementations. Over to Mr. Nirupam Chaudhuri.
Hello. Yeah, good afternoon to all of you. Really great to be back here. This is the 7th year running, as Gautam just mentioned. And we are always excited to have the support, the ever support that we get from the department here. The Department of IT is extremely active. And sir, especially Sir Devashish Sen sir is always pushing us to do new things, trying new things, and that always remains a source of inspiration. We had been visiting a number of districts also, and we want this activity from NASSCOM not to be just limited to metros and bigger cities, but also to go to adjoining smaller districts and cities. Like day before yesterday, we were in Asansol, we did a program there. And that's the kind of initiative that will make a holistic approach. So I'll just spend a few minutes here because all of you know already about Data Science Summit. NASSCOM is proud to be associated with it from the initial days with Gautam da and Shoma and the full team here. I just want to leave few thoughts with you. I already heard two, three speakers from the verticals, and they digged out some very interesting case studies from verticals, from finance, from media and entertainment and the like. So it's extremely important that data science and analytics is being leveraged and being used from a user's perspective, more, not too much from the academic perspective, but more from the user's perspective. That is extremely important. If you look at some of the real cases, like if you look at this particular map here, any guesses what this map is all about? Any guesses from the audience out here? Earthquake. Pardon? Earthquake, okay. Anything else? Okay, anything else? Okay, my friend is right there. So this is the kind of pollution change. If you look at the map from 2005 to 2015, and if you look at the area around Beijing and see what's happening in India, this is the kind of change which is happening. And some of that, like if you especially look at the area around in China in this belt, there are conscious decisions of using intelligence and mechanisms, interruptions which were made to make sure the levels are brought down. And the level where we are here right now in India, it is, I think, extremely important to use tech as much possible, to make sure that we have something for the future generation. So these are areas, live areas where I think applications are extremely essential, and all of you are eminent leaders from this space. Many of my friends, and I can see some seniors in this room out here. I'm sure a lot of progress is being made in these areas. This is another area. I mean, every year we have seen such disruptions, right? Especially we've seen what happened with Phony in that belt. So it's very difficult to predict natural disasters, and it's very difficult to pinpoint what's going to happen maybe even five days down. But this time, due to the kind of predictions that were done properly, at least human lives, the loss of human lives were kept to a minimum. So that's the kind of, and I think the scope is endless. A lot of other areas where I think this particular theme of today, I think which is going to touch us every day. This is going to be much beneficial. This is an example of advanced usage of tech in this area, even in streets, the kind of predictions in terms of traffic light management, automation, what is the kind of traffic buildup happening in streets. This is increasingly becoming more relevant for cities like Bangalore, but not so much for Kolkata. I'm very happy that one of the best cities in India where I'm happy to drive, at least, right? Now, so the important message out here is we will get to hear a lot of cases from across the globe. We heard some interesting cases this morning itself from India as well, but it's important that we solve these for the local market. It is extremely important. Whatever models we can bring from, we can take inspiration from outside markets, but we have to be absolutely local when you're catering to the local industries. This is extremely important. Like, this is an example of one of the companies out here in Sector 5 only. They're into video analytics, okay? And I don't know whether any friends from the company is here in this room. They do intelligent predictions of, if there's a crowd buildup. Their solutions are in on 98 airports of India, where if there is a bag unattended, or in a railway station there is something which is not right as per the general trends, they will be able to detect it. But believe me, this solution, if it was inspired by something which is running in a Japan airport or a Los Angeles airport, is much different, or a rail station for that matter, much different than what many of you would have been to Howrah station or Sealdah station. So it's absolutely not possible. That model will not work out. So it is extremely important to have the local data and use intelligence on top of that, so that we could impact better. This is the message we have to leave out with. So this is a great initiative. Many of you would have visited the stall outside, Bengalathon, which our state government has started, and we have been running successfully for a few years now. So you could actually take up problem statements which are actually live cases, which can be impacted and which can be adopted by government and other bodies like urban development or municipality and police officials, and these problems are real problems. So this year also we have this initiative running, and we are getting awesome response due to, all of my friends were telling us the kind of response that we are getting, and we want your support. I see my young friends also in this room, many startups are also here present. Please participate and help us to reach that level of excellence. This is just another example, leveraging GPS, or leveraging heat maps, the technology is there, right? But it is very important to pinpoint the problems and solve it. I'll not talk more about this subject because I'm sure there are experts in this room. I was talking to one of my friends from GE in the morning. So in the healthcare space or in the AI space, in the leveraging AI for multiple areas, just touching one area maybe. This is an example of connectome. It's called a connectome, mapping with data science. It is able to track disease progression of neural health. This is the kind of level we have progressed so far. And these are actual live demonstrations, live cases which are available. I'm sure you'll talk more about it as we hear you down the line, but I think that's where the real impact is going to happen. And that's where all of us are waiting for. Right now, presently, these are just quick numbers before I end in a minute. Overall, if you look at the consumer segments, I've shown you the pollution map, but I didn't want to show you the population map. So this is the kind of attention that India is getting because of the consumers that are here, the kind of phenomenal growth, digital adoption, readiness, of course, increasing in a huge pace. At the same time, it has its disadvantages, it has its advantages also. We have to leverage as much as possible, and if you look at even the kind of progression, the kind of adoption it has happened in digital payment space. These are the kind of examples of, you look at some of those numbers, Paytm, GPay, MobiKwik and Phone, but the kind of adoption which is happening, people are increasingly getting used to mobile payments. Of course, with its nuances of getting to be absolutely sensitive about the security part of that. But having said that, we have to appreciate the fact that multinationals and other bigger companies are definitely eyeing India in a massive fashion. GCCs, Global In-House Centers, one of the biggest bases that India has witnessed in the last few years. Ma'am is from Pune, I was just discussing this morning. So the kind of build-up that's happening in some of the cities, and we want the same for Kolkata, and we are actually vouching, we are telling companies to come to Kolkata, because this is the base. One of my friends was telling this morning itself, HSBC is very much here. This is one base where we have this huge talent of data science professionals, and that mathematical bend of mind, right, that's present there. There is nothing stopping us from making it the hub for this kind of activities in India. So as I told, a lot of these startups that you've seen here, for some of the Indian startups, they have been investing in other markets. Likewise, Uber and other guys are entering India. This is exactly what I was talking about. So this is the kind of transparency that has happened over time, and this is only going to increase. This is also a challenge for the local startups. We we are fortunate and that the government is also supporting us to run a startup warehouse or incubation center here. The kind of interesting case studies and examples that we get from some of these are amazing, and that's where we need to encourage more. So I will end here. So we are all eagerly looking forward to Debashish Sensor. My only request to all of you, reiterating once again to end out here, is make the best of the time that you have here today. Catch hold of some of our friends and dignitaries who have come down from different parts of the globe. Thanks to awesome initiatives from Shoma and Gautamda and of the team here. Let's engage, let's ask as many questions as possible, and that's what we are discussing. We should ask more and more questions, okay? So look forward to engage with all of you throughout this day. Thank you so much.